So hello fellow YouTubers and Doctor Who fans, welcome to my review on Power of the Daleks. First we'll be taking a look at the front cover of this CD. So here we have a close look up at the CD. We have Patrick Troughton right here as the Doctor with his stovepipe. Thank God he did not wear that through the whole of his era because I'm not really a fan of it. We have Ben and Polly right by here. We have Lesterson, and I forgot the character who this is, but it's the person who was the the side enemy in Pyramids of Mars, which I did not know first time, but he's very good as well. And three Daleks right by here and fire into the background, and the planet Vulcan in the background. We have the side of the CD, and we have the back. Now I'm just going to read the blurb. I'm not sure you can probably see it from this far away, but yeah, if I'm reading it, you still get a glimpse of it anyway. The first Doctor becomes the second and is the exclusive recording of the Doctor Who original regeneration story, starring Patrick Troughton, with Lincoln narration by Annika Wills. I've been renewed. Without it, I couldn't survive. Before the astonished eyes of the companions Ben and Polly, the Doctor's whole body has apparently been transformed. Now they have confronted by a stranger who claims to be their old friend. But how can they know whether to trust him? The TARDIS arrival on a swamp planet of Vulcan brings its own problems. A serious threat, lurks within the Earth's colony. The scientist Lesterson has discovered a crashed space capsule within a group of intermetallic creatures, identifies as Daleks. Refusing to heed the Doctor's warnings, Lesterson supplies the power to the Daleks and revives them. The awakened Daleks claim to be faithful servants of humanity, but could such a thing ever be possible? By covert means they seek an increasing level of energy, but what for? By the time the Doctor and his friends discover the Daleks' true plan for the colony, it looks as it might already be too late for them. Annika Wills, who plays the character Polly in this story, narrates this debut for the second Doctor, Patrick Troughton, first broadcasted in 1966, a long since missing from the television archives. The story has 2 CDs and running times an hour and 40 minutes long. The first edition of this was released on 2003, which is the radio collection, and the second release is 2011 from Collection 3 box set. So now we have the innards of the CD with the programs by here. We have CD1, we have CD2, and we have some advertisements for Matt Smith audios, so it is a very recent audio, 2011. Here is the booklet. It is 6 parts long, running on 2 CDs for episodes 1, 2 and 3, and then CD4 is episodes 4, 5 and 6, with a really nice picture of Patrick Troughton with his 500-year diary. And this is some contact information down there. Now this story is written by one of my favourite writers ever from the whole era of Doctor Who. Is David Whittaker alongside Kid Pedler as well. First broadcasted on BBC One the 5th of November 1966, number of episodes 6, last broadcasted on the 10th of December 1966. Now we have the cast and characters with the Doctor, Patrick Troughton of course, Polly, Ben, Braggerson, Lesterson, Hansel, Quinn, Jane Lee, the Examiner, Resno, Dalek voicer, which is Peter Hawkins, which are fantastic, Velma, Guards, and Keble. Now we can get down to the review of Power of the Daleks, and this is probably my most anticipated story, which I would like to see back in the BBC archives. People know that Patrick Troughton is my all-time favourite Doctor, and it wouldn't really be surprised if this would be either my favourite lost episodes that we covered or my favourite Patrick Troughton story. I've listened to this God knows how many times. It's becoming to be one of my favourite stories, this one, and it's definitely going to be in my top 10 stories of all time. Now, I do feel somewhat sorry for some people because, you know, if you have one of your all-time favourite stories or a favourite story which is lost, I do feel sorry for some people. But I know a couple of people who really like the lost episodes and they have a favourite from the lost episodes. I know people love Evil the Daleks, they have the Faceless ones, they love Wheel in Space, and they're all lost. And sadly, they might not ever return. So this is how we're going to enjoy them as much. It's just on CD or reconstruction, or maybe they might animate the whole lost episodes, even though they're all, every single part of it remains missing. There's been some talk about that, but I'm not sure if that would happen or not. Maybe the BBC will do it with the animation to earn money and then release the real thing. I don't know. I can't read the future. But Power of the Daleks are at their very best here. They are extremely cunning and extremely sly in this. I just like how they really do seem like they're pretending to be their servants. They act really sarcastically. They do. You know, a Dalek speaking sarcastically, they do sound quite creepy in this, and they start rallying and protesting, and they just want to get rid of them now. They want to get rid of all the humans. The Daleks do not muck about one little bit. I do prefer the Daleks in Power of the Daleks than any other Dalek stories, because they're just at their most cunning and their most sly. They are really threatening in Evil the Daleks, but I just find them more threatening in Power of the Daleks. They're quite close together with threatening Daleks, but Power of the Daleks does it with me with the Daleks. Now, another unique thing about this, it's the first regeneration. Well, the Doctor is getting used to his first ever regeneration to change his whole body, his whole appearance, his whole personality's changed, and he has to get used to it, 'cause this is his first ever time getting regenerated as this new body. And the Doctor said this regenerating is always like dying, it is, and he's experienced this for the first time. And you can see Polly and Ben are completely think he's just a complete stranger. He's acting differently, his personality, everything is that he even wears a hat now, a stove hat. He never wore that as the first Doctor. First Doctor was stubborn as a mule. Now with Patrick Troughton into this, he's acting a rather lot of a clown, but I do think he always gets more serious and more. He's usually, Patrick Troughton is usually a calm Doctor, but in some situations he's a really serious Doctor, like in the Moon Base with that brilliant speech it was, or that little quote it was. That was really good. That was. If you've seen the Moon Base, you know what I'm talking about. So this is why I like Patrick Troughton. He's sometimes a clown, he's sometimes very calm. With the Victoria ending, that was calm, he was very calm, he was acceptable, so that's why I like him again. And he can be very serious. Finally sees a Dalek for the first time as his new regeneration. You can see he does react to them very well. Now with Ben and Polly, they are pushed away in this story, and I have to say I know why, because it's unique to Patrick Troughton, because it's his first story. So it's more or less this the key of this Power of the Daleks. It's not because it's just the return of the Daleks. It's really because it's Patrick Troughton's first ever story. That's why it's so unique and so remembered. So Power of the Daleks is definitely, without a doubt, one of my favourite stories in the entire era. My all-time favourite lost story I want to see recovered, and hopefully I would like to see it recovered. I would like Power or Evil to be found, because we do not have nothing from the Daleks except for episode 2 from Evil the Daleks from Troughton's era. So I want to see something. If I could only have one, I would say Power, but I would not mind if we had Evil, because that's still just as good. But Power just tops it. Power, I would give a 10 out of 10. It's a perfection story for me, in my own opinion. It's my all-time favourite Dalek story, and I highly recommend it if you get it on audio, because we might never see it on film, which somehow does sadden me in that way, because this is the only lost story I would say I only care about. I do care about the other ones, but this is the one which I would like to see the most. So that was my review of Power of the Daleks. Highly recommended. You get collection free, or you just pick up the standalone version of the radio collections. They're both just as the same. It's just one good hell of a Dalek story, and it does compete really well with Evil the Daleks and Dalek's Master Plan and all the other good Dalek stories. So, yep, highly recommended. My next review will be the Faceless ones, which I am really looking forward to reviewing, actually. So I'll see you in that review. That review will be on Friday, so stay tuned for that, and have a fantastic day, everybody.